efficient and orderly movement of the vehicles, cyclists, and the pedestrians. So proper planning, designing, and management of these traffic features are essential for optimizing traffic flow and enhancing overall transportation system performance. Right. Before going into the sessions, allow me to introduce our organizations. Capricorn is India's leading design and construction management technology solution provider for architecture, engineering, and the construction industries. We are one of the Autodesk's largest platinum partner and authorized training center. We have more than 300 dedicated team members, and Capricorn serve over 220,000 clients in the AEC and related industries. We are delighted to inform you that we have a global footprint to serve you with the best of our abilities. Capricorn Technology is now part of a Arcans Group. So we are now become a global company. So let me introduce myself. My name is Rajendra Mina, and I'm a solution specialist for linear infrastructure at Arcans, formerly Capricorn Technology now. I have expertise in the linear infrastructures, and I'm expert in the different softwares like Civil 3D, InfraWorks, and the Docs as well. I did my master's from the SVNIT Surat, and the bachelor's I did from the RT. So basically, today's agenda of our webinar is to understand the differences between the intersections and the roundabouts. Also, we will see how we can improve the design of the roundabout intersections by using the vehicle tracking tools by using the Civil 3D. So in that one, we will learn how we can use the vehicle tracking path analysis, and we will see the 3D visualization of the vehicle tracking. Then what are the vehicle library which is available for the designing of the swept path analysis, and we will check the roundabout visualizations as well in the 3D view. Then we will take the questions and answer end of the sessions. So you just write down the questions and you can ask me at the end of the sessions. So as we know, there are two types of the intersections. One is basically a signalized and one is roundabout, which is unsignalized, right? So for both of the type of the intersections, we require the different design criteria, right? So if we're talking about the traffic control, so intersections basically are signalized intersections where you have to control the movement of the traffic by using the green lights and the traffic right. So it has the cycles of the traffic. So there is a limitations, like you have to put the one lane should be the movement and one should be the stoppage. So the movement of the vehicle is not continuous in nature at the place of the intersection. And there is a chances of hazardous while the pedestrians are crossing during the movement of the traffic. So many times it happens that lots of accidents occur due to the moment of the pedestrians are crossing while the light is dim. So we have to be careful while we designing the intersections. Similarly, for the roundabout is basically a continuous nature of the traffic movement. There is no signal, right? The difference between the signal intersections and roundabout is the operation and the traffic flow. Then we are also consider the safety of the roundabouts and intersection, and also the space we using for the intersection and the roundabout. Generally, roundabouts require the more space for to design the intersections, right? So one by one, we will check what are the design criteria we required for the roundabout as well as for the intersection. So as per IRC, we know the geometric design of the roundabouts. We have to understand all the parameters, like what are the exit radius, what should be the entry radius, what is the our radius of the inscribed circle you can see here, and what should be the approach width which we have to maintain in the roundabouts. So minimum entry width as per the IRC, it says that if it is a single lane, then it should be 3.5 meters for single roundabout and 4.5 meters for the multi-lanes. And for if I'm talking about the entry curve radius, the minimum curve radius for the entry curve should be the 30 meter for single lane and 40 meters for the multi-lane roundabouts we require. Similarly, for the exit curve, we require the larger radius. So minimum curve radius for the exit curve should be the 20 meters for single lane and 30 meters for the multi-lane the meters is required. Similarly, for the central island diameters, we require the large space. So minimum diameter of the central island should be for single lane is 24 meters for single lane, and 38 meters for the multi-lane roundabout. So you require the larger space for to constructing the roundabouts. And the traffic flow we generally design for the 20 years, right? And we have to check the safety criteria like clear visibility, pedestrian crossings. All these things we have to check while we designing the roundabouts. Also, we will see operational efficiency criteria where we have to maintain the efficient traffic flow. The design should be aimed to minimize delay and congestion by providing efficient traffic flow pattern. Lane discipline should be encouraged through proper lane marking and signage, and landscaping and beautification should be generally provided at the roundabouts. So it looks more aesthetic as well. And we also giving the for the pedestrians, we have to provide the safety the things so that the pedestrians also crossing safely at the roundabouts. Similarly, for the intersections, we have to maintain the some design criteria as per IRC. The lane width, again, for the minimum should be the 3.5 meter for the urban roads. Intersection angles generally should be ideally designed with the right angle 90-degree to facilitate easier traffic movement. Clear zone space of at least 1.5 meters should be maintained between the edge of the carriageway and any obstruction like utility poles or the buildings you have. So you have to maintain or at least the 1.5 meters of the clearance. Traffic flow criteria we have to check before we designing the intersections like traffic volume, lane configurations, storage length. And again, the safety criteria if I'm talking about, so then we have to check the side distance, pedestrian facilities, and barrier-free designs. And the operationals, basically intersections is working on the signal timings. It depends on the what type of the intersection, whether it is a single, I mean the single movement or 3-leg, 2-leg, it depends. And how much is the traffic volume is there. So based on that, they calculate the signal timing, and according to that, they just design the traffic signals. And detection system they generally also use. And after that, environment considerations, if we're talking about the green infrastructure, where feasible integration of green infrastructures, elements such as vegetations, rain gardens, or permeable pavements should be considered to mitigate stormwater runoff and improve environment sustainability. So we have to provide the proper drainage as well at the point of roundabout and the intersections. So we will see all these things, how we can do within the Civil 3D by using the vehicle tracking softwares, right? So I will just turn on the Civil 3D. So I just imported a one surface, and this surface is I just exported through InfraWorks. So in Civil 3D is a very good tools where you can integrate multiple the surfaces. So I just captured the site from the InfraWorks and bring into the my model. So now what I will do, I will just create a one alignment which shows the main road, and then one I will create as a service road. So very quickly I will create the alignments, or better I will just convert these polylines into the alignment. I will take 3 conditions. Let me turn off this. So this polylines is representing basically the main service roads, and this two is representing the service roads. So where I just want to create one here, I will just want to create a T intersections, and here I will create one roundabout. So first I will change into the alignment. And this is the directions. If you want to change, you can just directly reverse the directions, and it will automatically change the directions as well. So I will not change the directions. And if you just want to apply the design criteria, you can apply the design criteria, but this is a very small sections and it is a very straight line. So there is not required to check the design criteria. But if you want to check, you can just apply the design criteria based on the Indian standards. You can just select, and according to the terrain, whether you are working the plan and rolling or whether you are working in the mountain steep, you just select the design criteria as per the IRC. You can select that one. And you can also apply the different design criteria if the sections of the alignment is too large, right? So for this small section, I am not going to take any the design criteria, just simply imported. And this is the alignment one. And I'm again converting the other two service, this one. The direction will be this. I am giving the name is service road 1. And simply also I'm not applying for the design criteria, particularly the service road as well. Simply the third one. So now we have the 3 alignments. One is the alignment 1, the service road 1, and service road 2, right? So I very quickly I will make the profile of this all these 3 alignments. So I will add the first profile. So we have three profiles of different roads, right? One is the alignment 1, service road, and the service road 2, right? And I will create a design profile of the main road. Giving the name is main road. Here also you can use the design criteria of the verticals, right? So you can just select, and based on that, it will automatically gives you the design criteria for checking, like the vertical curves. You have to maintain the K values or the curve length, right? So you have to be careful while you're designing the vertical profiles, even the horizontal alignments as well. So we have the in Civil 3D, you have the multiple options, like where you can use the tangent, and the curves, and then you can later on just changing the curves according to your requirement. But right now I'm just taking our values directly tangent with the curve. So I can take. I'm taking the space where I will take little bit cut and the fill as well, and try to make linear. And this the triangle, it shows the information, the warning information that the design criteria is not fulfilled as per the design speed. So you can check through this. It shows that the minimum stopping side distance is required for this particular design speed is this 73.6 is required. But here we have provided a less, and So we can change the values and it automatically, the minimum here it says that 135, but the our value is 73. So if I change this 135, it automatically resolve the errors, right? So I'm just providing 135, sorry. So you can see it gives the very beautiful way, like you can get the output that it's you do not need to calculate manually the your criteria. It automatically gives you the minimum passing side distance, how much you require, and based on that you can generally just provide the values and your value will be a result, right? Similarly for this, you can also overlay the superimpose or just put a one, like you can highlight the intersection point at both the values. So I'm just providing the two methods. One is like just create the one manual points here, and you can just highlight that point into the alignment. So I just want to highlight this point into this profile. This is the service road one. So I just want to highlight where it is, exactly where this two line is intersecting, right? So I'm just selecting. So you can see that point is intersecting basically at this particular location, right? So we get the point where it is intersecting, right? So we get the channels. Similarly for this, I will just mark this point and just highlight that point into this profile. And in this one, it is intersecting at this particular location, right? So I'm just creating the profile for this as well. Similarly for this. So now we have the alignments, we have the profile of all the three alignments, right? So now I just want to create the first intersection at this particular location and roundabout at this. So to create the intersection, we have the option is intersection wizard here, and for the roundabout, we have the roundabout wizard, right? So first I will use the intersection, and we are creating the intersection by using the manual method. So I'm selecting the main road. This is the main, and here you have to define the some parameters. Like first is whether you just want to maintain all the crown at the single level, or you just raise the main road at a higher point, and the service road, the level should be lower from the crown. So if you want to maintain all the crown at particular location, then you can just select the all crowns maintain. And here you can see the main road we have selected is the alignment one, and the second, the priority is our service road one. And here is the parameter of the intersection wizard. So we have the ability, like we can change the offset parameter from here. While you're selecting, it will gives you the like it's highlight where this value is appear, right? So if you want to create the offset from this alignment is 3.5, that means you are just creating the lane, right? So if I'm creating like it's 2 lane, so I'm just giving like a 7 meter on the left side, and the right side will be 7 meters. So it's like 4 lane, right? And for the similarly for the secondary road, I'm just giving like 3.5. It's single lane road. I'm selecting this and creating okay. Then you have the option like you can change the curve return parameters. So we have the two options, whether you just want to add the turn lane for incoming road and the outgoing road. So right now it is appears like it will construct like this, but if you just turn on this the tabs, then it will gives you more parameters that you can edit and just create the incoming and outgoing the widening turn, right? So we have the option like we can change the values of, if you just want to change the circular radius, here is 10 meter. And if you don't want to provide the circular, you just want to provide the camphor or whether a three centered arc. So that just select whatever you just want to apply here. So right now I'm just taking a value of circular fillet as a 10-meter radius. And later on, we will check through by using a vehicle tracking whether this radius is sufficient for the vehicle which we want to move on this particular locations is accurate or not. Then if it is not, then we can change the later on the values of this radius. So I'm not changing other parameter, but if you want to change, you can change. And wherever you will select the values, it will highlight what it is representing basically. So based on that, you can change the values of the offset, right? The curve parameter. So I'm just taking, this is southeast parameter. So I'm taking as it is. And for southeast coordinates, this will also, I'm not changing. And for this as well, I'm not changing. Done. Similarly, if you just want to maintain the slope, like as per IRC, we have to maintain like cross poly is 2.5, and as per ASTO, it should be 2%, right? So I'm not changing, I'm just keeping as 2% as per ASTO. But if you want to change, you have the options like you can change the values. Then just click the next. And then we have the, like, we can just create the new corridor by using this. And it automatically create the profiles, the assemblies, right? So, or you have the, if you created your on the assemblies, then you can apply that assemblies. So you can see this curve return fillet assembly will be created like this. Primary road will be look like this assembly. And if let's say secondary half section will be look like this. So it is not necessary that you just select by this method only. If you want to created your on the assemblies, you can just apply that assembly from here. You just select that assemblies if you created and just apply it. So you can see we created a intersection here. right? So we created the surface as well. So if I see in the 3D view, and I just check in the isometric, you can see it creates a very beautiful intersections. And if you see, there is some, daylights problem here. You can say it's not apply the continuous. There is some criteria where it is not fulfilling. That's why it is giving the some error, the block holes here. So if you change the daylight criteria here, it automatically change the criteria and it will take the values. So it depends on like what criteria you are applying at daylights. It based on that it will take the cut and fill values. If we see in the realistic, you can see this is the intersection we created, right? Now I will create the one roundabout as well. Then we will check through a vehicle tracking. Similarly, for the roundabout, you just give the name of the roundabout. Let's say it is roundabout one. And here is option like you can select from the many countries or design based criteria. So I will take from the US and US federal, and we have the option is like many roundabout you just want to take, or the any urban or double lane markings or roundabout you just want to take. So it depends on the type of the roundabout you just want to create. So for example, I will take the urban lane, single lane roundabout and just click OK. And then you have the option like you just put the values of the inscribed circle diameter, how much you just require. It says the minimum value should be the 30 and the maximum value it will go for the 40. So just keep the values in between. So I will take 30. It automatically calculates the center island diameter and the apron width. You can just provide how much you just want to provide, right? And just select from here is the existing ground surface, and the final surface it automatically create for us. And then click OK. And just place the location where you just want to place. So I'm just place here. And then you have to select the lanes. It's called for the lake basically. So I'm selecting the first lake, and it will ask the lane width. So we provided a lane width 7 meter here. And this is a approaching lane, and for the departure also I'm just putting the values there. But for a single lane, like you can also change the values like 3.3 to 3.6. So if you have a 2 lanes, so then just provide the values is 2 and just insert the values in between like 3.5. As per Indian, like we just taking the 3.5 values the single lane values. So I'm taking 2 lane, but 3.5 as the single lane width. Similarly for the second one, and I will take the only single lane and 3.5. I will take this as a single 3.5, and this one again 2 lane. This will also 2 lane. And this one single lane. Right. So once I complete this, it automatically create the surface and 3D model of the roundabout, and also it applies some the signboard as well. Right. So it automatically created the roundabout. So we can check in 3D. Right. So this way you can able to create the intersections as well as the roundabout. Let's now check through vehicle tracking. So we can able to see whether this the roundabout and the intersection which we created is accurate or not for based on our vehicle required, right? So the vehicle we are permitted particularly this roundabouts and the intersections. So let me rebuild this. Okay. So this vehicle tracking is generally you have to install separately. It will not come through while you installing the Civil 3D. It is a part of the AEC collections. So you have to purchase separately if you have only Civil 3D. So or if you have a AEC collection, then you have the vehicle tracking as well in your system. So first we will understand first the vehicle library. What vehicle library we have options. So here you can see we have the vehicle library. And under this, you will get the lots of country style side of the vehicles. So you can see we have the Asian vehicles, we have the Australian, and then other countries as well. So depending on your requirement, you can select the vehicles. So I'm taking the Asian vehicles, and from here I will take like a Tata bus we have. So I will select this, and I just want to check this Tata bus. So this vehicle is moving from this direction to this direction and this particular locations. I just want to take a turn. So you can see it not facing any kind of any challenges to turn at this particular location, right? So because the radius which we provided is very sufficient for this particular vehicle, right? Even we are taking the extra radius here, like the path we are just moving from here. Even we can move from here, then it is a sufficient lane width we provided at this particular intersection, at least for the this bus, right? So let's check in the 3D view how it will look when we just run the bus in the 3D view. So this is a bus, Tata bus, and if I just run this, so it will take the turn from this, right? It will not crossing basically the lane. Similarly, we can check in 2D as well and the swept path. So let me again run the. So you can see here the bus is moving and it will just take the path only this the swept path which we drawn by using the vehicle, right? So it will not facing any challenges to turn at this particular place. Now I will take the one more bigger size of the vehicle here. Let's say trailer. Let me check. Maybe I will take 20-meter in size of the vehicle. Yeah. So I will take the farm tractor and hay wagons and let's check. So I place this and I will move the vehicle again. So you can see it takes the little bit this part, so we can adjust because we have the more space here. So I will take little bit this side. We have to adjust the path. Right. So it while it's coming like this bigger size of the farm track, it facing little challenges to turn particular this location, right? So if I just moving this in 3D view, so you can see it will face little challenges to move at this particular locations. But we can adjust by providing the extra like a radius at these particular locations if you would just want to allow the more size of the vehicles, right? So that way we will get the idea like if this type of the vehicles of the bigger size is coming at this particular type of the intersection, then how much is the turning radius is required, or it will take extra length. I mean, it will face the challenges, but it can also take the this type, I mean, it will cross this road and can take the values. But if it is a divided road, then it will not take this values, right? So you have to provide the extra radius at this particular location, then in that case. And we can also assign the parameters of this, what so that we can generally know what type of the vehicle it is. So for that we have the place outline. So for example, I just want to place annotate symbol, right? So we can place this so that we can analyze in the drawings where we are facing the challenges, right? So you can draw these vehicles in the path as well. Also, you can use the template where you can provide the information about this, right? So I will use this about the farm track, and I will use finish, and you will get the information about this. So it will gives you the how much is the radius generally you required at this particular locations, right? So for this, you require the minimum clearance at is 5.39 meter at this location. So we provided this is I think 3.5, and this radius is larger, but at this particular location is because it is coming in lesser values, then it takes at least minimum 5.5 meters at this. So if we increase the radius, then it will not take it will not face the any challenges to easily enter into the service roads basically. Other than that, we can also analyze their path as well. Like we have the profile of this. So if I insert the profile of this, so it will give you the values, how much is the length, how much is the width of this particular vehicle. So it will give the complete information about this particular vehicles, and you will highlight that this is the vehicles for we designing these intersections, right? And also you can highlight the path, like how it will changes its accelerations and deaccelerations at this particular location, right? So it is moving very smoothly at initially stage, then while it is coming at the intersection, it is facing a little challenges, right, in acceleration and deaccelerations it shows. So you will get the lots of informations by using this vehicle tracking, and you can use in the designing of the intersections or the roundabouts. Also, you can use this in vehicle tracking for the parking as well. Like we have the parking options. If you just created the parking lots, it depends on like what type of the parking you just want to create. For example, I'm just creating for one side, this side, and one more I will create. Let's see here. Even you just want to check how it will like work your vehicle. So you can just select the your parking areas lots, like what type of the size of the vehicles you want to parking. So you just select that one. And let's say I will take the Volvo. For example, I just want to parking at this particular location. So I will hit the Volvo. So that way you can, check the values of the, like parking loads, whether you are just want to create for the roundabout or the intersections. It is very useful tools to check the design of the all these type of the design criterias, right? And so for the today's sessions, I think it's from my side. So I will take the questions from your side. So you can just write down the all the questions, whatever you have in your mind, you can ask me. So please type in the chat box, so I can see your questions and just try to reply all the answers. Anyone? Please ask any questions, like if you have any doubts or any queries you have. Okay, so one question is coming. Are there any other use cases for vehicle tracking apart from the ones you saw? No, I showed all the criterias, like what which is used for the vehicle tracking generally. This is the basically use of the vehicle tracking. Even you can use for the airport as well, like where you just want to use check the swept path for the aeroplanes, like where how the your aeroplanes will take the turns and how much is the radius it requires generally. So for that purpose also you can use it. Or one more options is like if you want to check the vertical clearance of any profiles, you can check that as well. For example, you have this the vertical profile, right? I just want to check the vertical profile which I created is like accurate or not, whether there is some vertical clearance issues is there, then it will show us. So for that purpose, you have to first create the exaggerations 1:1 scale. Let me change first the scale. So right now it is a 10. So I have to first convert into 1:1, and then we can apply the vertical clearance. So we have the option is vertical clearance here, and just select the design profile. So you can see it automatically check the vertical clearance. If there is some issues, it will show. So you can check in 3D manners as well. Let's say if I check. So it will show you how your vertical profile will be there in the actual field, right? So if there is undulations, it will gives the values like where it is has some problem. So let me change the profile so you will understand better way. For example, here I will insert some IP point. And one more IP I just want to put it here. Like this, I'm just making, okay. So I'm making this vehicle as in a trouble so that it will show some error at this particular location. So if I'm moving this, first it will zoom out. Where is this particular location? Yeah. So I will check only this location. So I will wait while the vehicle is coming. So you can see here. I think it takes the previous one. So I will again apply the vertical clearance. Yeah, you can see now it shows like this. It will move like this. So it gives you, if you like, if you're making more trouble, then it will show that this vehicle is not able to move further, right? Or there is some vertical clearance of this vehicle. So that way you can check your the profile as well. So this is the another cases. Could you please share this share some videos I don't know. I can't say like this video is available or not on the YouTube. But if it is available, then you can find on the YouTube, sir. But personally, I can't send. Anyone? If you have any more questions, then we will take one more two questions, then we will end the sessions. Okay, I think so. There is no questions. Okay, let me see. I think one more. This session's video, how I can get. If it, I will like if it is uploaded on the YouTube, our channel, the Capricorn Technology Private Limited, then you can able to see this webinar videos on there. We don't provide the personally here. Can we seek it for basement parking? Yeah, yes, you can check for the basement parking as well. The any parking, any type of the parking you just created, you can check for any particular vehicle size, right? So whether you just want creating this parking basement for the large size vehicles, or whether you just created only for the car and some goods vehicles, so you can check that. There is no problem. Okay, I take the almost all questions. Thank you so much, guys, for taking your times and just investing here. And I hope you learn, get the knowledge, and it will be a grateful, insightful for you. So to get some knowledge, and just keep in touch with us. So whenever we organizing the webinar, please try to attend and get some knowledge. So thank you so much. Have a good day.